Oh, welcome everybody, wherever you're joining from. Please share this stream so more people can be a part of it. Okay, we'll start in a very few minutes. Sorry for the delay, a lot going on my end. So I do a lot of sacrifice to make this happen. Okay, please let's share this live stream so more people can be a part of it. That's most important. Now share this live stream, share this live stream, share the live stream. Thank you. Let's do this, guys. Share the stream so more people can be a part of it, okay? Thank you, Trahama member. When you invite join, please let me know where you're joining from. So let's know where you're reaching out from. Please do us a favor, share this stream so more people can be a part of it, okay? Share this stream so more people can be a part of it. We'll start in a second or two. Just waiting on some more people to join. I can see over 191 of you. If every single person can share, that will mean that we'll double our numbers. If you can share this stream, more people can be a part of it, okay? Please, just a click of a button. That's what it is. That's what it takes. A click of a button, and you can share this stream. It will go a long way to helping this channel, but more importantly, more people can be a part of it, all right? Thank you for everyone. Regina Ogiova, thank you, all of you. Kele 001. As many of you on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, you are very much welcome. Yet again, we are at another stream. You're all welcome, very much welcome. Thank you very much for always joining. Thank you very much for always being a part. Please, like I said, do well to share this to more people. Thank you very much. And let us know where you're joining us from. It'll be nice to know where you're joining from. Okay, so we'll then assume that it would be nice to know. It really help. All right, please let us know where you're joining from. Let us know where you're joining from. All right. Okay. All right. So just a few seconds. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the trust. Thank you for all the support. Very much appreciated. What's the timer? Okay. We'll start in a second. Thank you very much. Oh, over 215 of you. Thank you very much. Please keep sharing so more people can join the live stream. Oh, South Africa. Thank you very much. Nice to know you're joining from South Africa. Dodi Fan YMY 5M. Please share so more people can join, please. Let us know where you're joining from. Fernand, Johnny, where are you joining from? Claudia, where are you joining from? Oh, wow. King Tan is in Bangkok. Oh, nice to know. Please let us know where you're joining from. Tasala Wundin. Please let us know where you're joining us from, please. That would be nice, okay? Please. It's just to have an idea of our audience, just to have an idea of those that are on this live stream. Also to give us perspective of who we're communicating with. Thank you very much. Claudia, where are you joining us from? Let us know. We're starting a jiffy. Sorry, please. Just trying to put a timer on so that I don't lose track of what I'm doing. Okay. You're all welcome to today's live stream. So today we'll be talking about family vision. And I believe that everything we're going to talk about today would be a blessing to you. Thank you very much for joining, to everyone. And please do well to power tap on the screen to go a long way. So a big thank you to all our families, every supporter on TikTok, over 46,000 of you, very much appreciated. And we have over 1,500 of you on YouTube, over 14,000 of you on Facebook, and over 10,000 of you on Instagram. A big thank you to you. And all those that are on LinkedIn, a big thank you. We do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. As much as we can, we'll try to keep the time, all right? But it's particularly not that easy. Sorry, I just want to clean the screen of this, perhaps make it a little better. So thank you, JD Kitchen. Very much appreciate. Keep the likes coming, guys. Keep the likes coming. Thank you, Caleb 001. Keep it coming. Thank you, Miriam, for joining. All right. Please, like I said, please share this live stream. If you're joining, Just share this live stream. We'll go a long way. Don't forget to follow this page. Don't forget to follow this page and turn on the notification button so that you can learn. Let's try and get us up to as many likes as possible. I see it coming on TikTok. Please do the same for Facebook. Do the same for YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and in LinkedIn as well. It'll go a long way. If you are watching this after, please, because we tend to have more people watch after than on the live stream. Please still do the same thing. Write your comments. Whatever you need to do, just do it. But make this so it can help someone. All right. Remember, I have a free ebook and I have a paid ebook. If you want it, send a DM. You can find it on my bio. If it's not there, send us a DM. Thank you very much, Mary P. Let us know where you're watching us from. All right. Okay. If you want us to have a 10 minutes free consultation call as regarding anything, your personal guidance, it could be career, business, send us a DM and we could work something out for you. Okay. If you want to join our community of like minds, it's very, very important. All right. Very, very important. Send us a DM. We can work it out. Remember, my book, I'm still writing it. It's called The Migration Mirage, Why Nations Lose Tomorrow and Lineages Fade. All right. Please, soon our website, we're working on it. And as soon as it comes out, you can be a part of it. So you know when the book goes, when it's out for you to buy them. All right. So please remember that this live stream is sponsored by hashtag The Things You Love, D610 Homes, and Love Family Podcast. So you want to check them out and you want to look up this channel. I'll talk more about them towards the end. Okay. And if you want to collaborate with us as well, you're more than happy to send us a DM. Thank you, Mutu. Thank you, Achiraf, and thank you to Ashley, and to everyone that is joining. God bless you, and thank you all. Okay, remember that the whole idea of doing this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, is to stir up into satisfaction within you, your spirit man, to awaken the possibilities. There are a lot of things that you can still become that you have not yet become. Speaking to myself, and I'm also speaking to you, all right? So remember that the reason is also because I saw in the scriptures, it says, I've seen servants on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. So that is to say, in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7, that where we ought to be, that's not where we are. So God is trying to say, you can move, you can become a lot better. Okay? Remember, I'm not a guru. I'm only teaching the little things that Christ has done in my life. I'm here to provide personal guidance I desperately needed, but never got. So things, I'm talking more, I'm talking to myself, let's say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, sharing to you today, things I wish I knew years ago, you know. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to myself and consistently reminding and challenging myself. Last week we discussed on discipline, but this week we're going to be discussing on family vision. Family vision. Family vision. So I need your attention and need your cooperation. Please share this stream again. Do some likes, show that you like it, and let us move on. And if you have any thoughts, put it in the comment section. We'll go a long way. Okay. So I'll try to read the best I can within the time allowed, right? Family vision. A family without vision becomes a group of individuals. That is the thoughts that you bear in mind, all right? One of the greatest mistakes, having the same surname means having the same vision. A surname tells you where you come from, but vision determines where you are going. A surname connects people to history, but vision connects people to destiny. It's possible to share blood, but not share direction. It's possible to inherit a family name, but not inherit a family purpose. Without vision, a family becomes like passengers who enter the same vehicle, but everyone wants to go to different destinations. So Zig Ziglar was one quoted to have said, you don't build a business, you build people. And people build the business. So in other words, it's not just about having a family or just having people just having the same surname. It's all about building the family in such that you're all heading towards the right direction, and they having the family vision in their mind. What is the agenda of this family? What do we hope that this family will become? Or what do we hope that our generations yet unborn or this generation will achieve? So that's simply how the same applies to families. You don't just build houses for your children. You build children who can build houses. You don't just leave wealth, you leave wisdom. So I hope that for the little things, yes, I hope that for the little things that we will be sharing today, that we're going to be learning a lot from it. And I'm more than happy to have your thoughts on this so that we can all learn together. I'm not coming here to real words at you, It'd be important that as I'm sharing them, if you agree with them, it'd be nice to see the thumbs up. If you don't agree with them or you have a thought or different, also send me a message in the comment section. That will go a long way. So just without avoiding to think that we all are on the same page as regards or know what it means, what a family vision means, I just want to clarify that by defining what it is. Okay, a family vision is a clear picture of a person of the future of a family. I'll take this again. A family vision is a clear picture of the future a family wants to build and the family values that will guide generations. I take that again. A family vision is a clear picture of the future a family wants to build and the values that will guide generations. Now mark that word, it has an S, generations. A family vision answers these questions. Guys, think about this question. Who are we? What do we represent? What must never disappear from our family? What must our children improve? What shall remain 100 years from today? I want to take these questions again because it's very profound. I don't know how many people, families that ask this question. Who are we? That's a very important question to ask. What do we represent? Very paramount. What must never disappear from our family? Very, very important. What must our children improve? What should remain 100 years from now? If you can answer this question, that would help you to have an understanding of family vision. A family vision changes, the family vision changes this family, this is the family I'm from. Get that? It will change that mentality of, oh, I'm from this family, to, it will change it to, this is the mission I'm continuing. There are two different things. It's not just saying I belong to this family, it's to say that is to have a sense of responsibility. This is the mission I'm continuing. So I just teach a quick story here. There's an old saying, a society grows great when old men plant trees whose shades they know they shall never sit in. I'll take that again. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. A man planted a tree at 90 years old. A man planted a tree at 90 years old knows he will never eat the fruit, but he plants because someone before him planted. That is a family vision. The question is, what tree are you planting today that your grandchildren will sit under tomorrow? Very profound. I always say things, it's very apt and very, thank you very much, Lucas and Jasper, for the questions. Thank you very much. It's very apt and very profound that we inherit the things that you say, oh, I inherited land, whatever it is, possessions. It was passed down, you know, just like this question asks the question, what tree are you planting today that your children, your grandchildren will sit under tomorrow? So that land, I used to say to myself, that means our forefathers were wealthy enough to be able to acquire land. I don't know if they acquired land, or I don't know whether they apportioned the land to themselves. I don't know. Whatever it is they did, whether they bought it or whatever it is that they passed it down. They passed it down. Whether they acquired it, whether they bought it, they passed it down. You understand? What is that thing that you're doing so that the next generation after you will not start from the bottom again, but continue from where you were able to help them get to. So that's, I hope that we're able to have an understanding of what family vision is, you know, by that definition and by that little story. So family vision means that the next generation should outperform the previous one. I always say this. If you watch this live stream, you'd have heard this question. Family vision implies that the next generation must outperform the previous generation. Please let this sink in. A successful family vision means that the children should not restart the journey their parents already completed. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a button. It's like a family vision is like a marathon race. You know, you pass. You don't run the first lap and pass on the button only for the next generation to say no. We want to go and start from lap one, from the first lap. No, they continue from the lap where you start. You pass the button and they move on. So that means you made progress. And we all know, so watching the Olympics or watching sports events and all that, sometimes people have gained grounds in the first lap. And it's only wise that the person that collected the button in the second lap continue. Sometimes they don't even gain grounds in the first lap, second lap. It might even be the person at the third lap that makes the significant thing and makes the race amazing. So I hope that this analogy is helping. Every generation should transfer wisdom. What is that wisdom that you should transfer? Every generation should transfer knowledge. They should transfer character, opportunity, networks, and assets. Every generation should transfer this thing from one generation to another. Not for them to start from the bottom, but for them to continue from where the last generation stopped. The goal is not, my children must suffer like I suffered. No. It's not a crime to give your children what's called leverage. No. It's not a crime to give the next generation leverage. Peter, thank you very much. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. The goal should be that my sacrifice should become their starting point. That is a very valid way to reason. That's a very valid way to have perspective. That's a very perspective. My sacrifice should be their starting point. They don't need to go back to the way we say in Nigeria, to the yesteryears. No. They can start from wherever it is on the level of the ladder that you have been able to achieve in whatever you do. But some people used to say, no, if I make them start, they'll be spoiled. No. If you train them well, they don't need to start. They can start from wherever you stopped and continue if well trained. I'm a living example, right? So I hope that helps. So there's a story, as once told, it says life is like a relay race. I talked about it. The fastest team does not always win because they have the fastest runner. No, they win because they know how to pass the baton. Very, very, very powerful. I take that again. The fastest team does not always win because they have the fastest runner. No, they win because they know how to pass the baton. Remember that there's an art of knowing how to pass the baton. You know, many families run well but drop the baton. That is something to think about. Many families run well but drop the baton. One generation builds, the next generation starts again. No, it shouldn't be so. The question you should ask yourself is why? Because money was transferred, but mindset was not transferred. That's why a family will build all the wealth and the next generation will squander it. It reminds me of the prodigal son in the Bible. I just read it again a couple of days, and it was dawning on me that this guy was passed on wealth. You know, so he said, give me my own portion. And he squandered it in few days, or I don't know if it's days or weeks. Whatever it is, the Bible says he squandered it. So that is a picture of a drop of how a baton can be dropped from one generation to another. All right? Isaac Newton was one quoted to have said, if I have sinned further, it is not by standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, think about it. If I have sinned further, it's not by standing on the shoulder of giants. Family vision creates shoulders for the next generation to stand on. Your children should see further because you stood before them, and it will make a whole lot of difference because you are ahead of them, right? So the next thing is that I want us to have a conversation is that a family that survives versus a family that builds. These are two things. So bear those in mind. A family that survives versus a family that builds. So the question is, how do we pay bills? That's a family that survives. We'll say a family that survives thinks only about today. That's what it is. So and that kind of family will always ask this question: how do we pay bills? How do we enjoy now? How can I get? How can I get? That's what they're thinking about. Everything is about the present. The danger is that grandparents will struggle, parents will struggle, children will struggle. It will be the same story. Different generations, because nothing was transferred except what? Memories. So it's important that we are not a family that is survival minded. But think about this, or check this out. A family that builds, remember that we're talking about a family that survives versus a family that builds. A family that builds thinks generationally. See, I don't want to, you cannot listen to my stream and not hear me talk about generation, you know, because it's very, very important, and a lot of people are neglecting it. That's why we are seeing a lot of baton dropping, and the next generation not taking it on, and it's affecting our communities and affecting our society. So never get tired of hearing me say that, all right? So the family that builds will ask this question: what foundation are we creating? What value must continue? What doors are we opening? What problems can we remove? They understand I'm not only somebody's child, I am somebody's ancestor. Very profound. Very, very profound. I always say this. People like the Henry Ford family, that his generation can never be poor. If you live in England and you are driving in London towards the, thank you very much, King Tang. If you're driving towards the East London side of things, and you look to the, you see a Ford factory. That at some point Ford occupied a great portion of East London. Think about it. One man in America started something, and generations yet unborn are benefiting from it. They don't have to start from where he started making the black car and mass producing it. No, they start from wherever it is that he has prepared for them. Ford cars are made in England and all across the world. They are leveraging on wherever it is that their forefathers left for them. So I want to share a little bit about the Van der Witt family wealth to us, the wealth without vision. In the 1980s, Cornelius Van der Witt built one of America's greatest fortune through shipping and railroads. At his death in 1817, he was among the richest people in America. But within generations, much of the family fortune had reduced significantly. The lesson: money can be inherited, but discipline, unity, and vision must also be transferred. A family can receive possessions but lose direction. This guy we're talking about, if you talk about men that built America, Henry Ford will be mentioned, this guy will be mentioned, Cornelius Van der Witt will be mentioned, John D. Rockefeller will be mentioned, J.P. Morgan will be mentioned, and what's the guy with the light bulb? I don't remember his name, will be mentioned. These are some of the few men. There's a documentary, type it on YouTube, I hope you can find it. It's called Men That Built America, and it was done by the History Channel. It's very profound. It will shape your mentality. How few individuals can change a generation and the mind of people and prepare the way for the next generation. But look at the sad example we're hearing about his next generation, Cornelius Van der Witt, about the generations after him. You can change the narrative. You can do things differently. The next conversation I want us to have is a conversation is migration without family vision. Migration is very powerful, very, very powerful. I want to share this. Migration has changed millions of lives. See, I don't know how many of you that, like I talked about, I'm writing this in my book, and I dwelled a lot about it in one of the chapters. And I hope that when the book comes out, you guys will be able to find that book, read it, digest it, especially every migrant, or anybody I know that is a migrant, is an immigrant, or anybody that you know that is about to leave the country. My prayer is that the book that I'm writing is a book that communities, nations, churches will be able to sit down and study for months, for months, so that the mindset, there'll be a prepared mind before anyone thinks of leaving the country to another country. Because a family that does not have a vision and migrate, there'll be a problem, huge problem. Migration is very powerful. Some people don't look down on migration. Migration has changed millions of lives. A typical example is to make you understand. Some of you see birds. You see birds in your area. If you know where these birds came from, you'll be surprised. Watch some of the movies. I think on Prime, there's a movie called Migration. Watch it so you can understand how those birds you might see in your area, only God knows, maybe they came from Brazil or they came from whatever. And their lives can be changed just by coming to your environment. It's very important. Migration is not ordinary. Migration has changed millions of lives. But migration without a family vision can create success in one area and losses in another. Yes, don't get me wrong. People have migrated and their lives have been transformed. But remember that it can create success as regards to the family having income, but also they can lose in another area. Many families many people plan, the visa, they plan about passport, they plan for jobs, they plan for their house abroad. But quite a lot of people, I don't know how many of them that plan for how will our children know our story? How will they know their roots? How will families connections continue? What happens after the first generation? I don't know how many questions people that ask this question. Migration answers things like, oh, where am I going? But if a family is visionary, have a vision, they must ask questions like, what must continue? It's very important. A lot of people are more interested in, oh, we need to go to Canada. Oh, we need to go to Thailand. Oh, we need to go to America, Germany, wherever. But have we thought about the continuity of that family? What must continue? Have we thought about the consequences of that action of moving from one country to another? Is it today you are in Japan, next tomorrow, or next year, England brings a new regulation or something, you jump ship and you are in whatever. All of a sudden you hear, oh, it's happening in Australia. You've packed your family again all the way there. Or next thing you now hear again, oh, it is in Kuwait that is happening now. Oh, Saudi are paying a lot of money. Just move. One of the things I always tell my people I know, even my sisters, one of the worst things that can happen to you is to marry a man or somebody that doesn't have vision. It's one of the worst things. The Bible says, where there's no vision, people perish. So if that means a family without vision will perish. Because just think about it this way, guys. The Bible talks about do not be yoked with unbelievers. So I'm not talking about unbeliever here. I'm talking why I brought that scripture is the word yoke. The word yoke is a stick. If you guys have walked in have a picture, just type yoked animals on Google. You understand what I'm saying? You will see two animals of like mind. They have a stick on their neck or a metal or something, joining two of them and helping them so that they are cohesive or they are synchronized so they can be able to till the ground or whatever it is that the farmer wants them to do. And they tend to move on the same pace and they tend to achieve the same result at the same time. You would never see a farmer put a cow and an ox together. No, they will not do that. Even though they have same four legs, even though they have the same height, you will not see them because they have to be of the same to function and perform very well. You will not see a farmer put a horse and a donkey together, or a horse and a pony together. No, or something else. No, you will not see a farmer put a dog and a fox, or put a dog or some. He would always put the same animal, the same to be yoked together. That is, just think about it as marriage. You want to get married, and you marry somebody that doesn't have a vision like you do. You'll be having problem. Just think about a horse and a donkey trying to plow. The donkey doing like this, going this one, like this. Why the horse should be saying, let's go, let's move forward? Think about it. Even, have you ever seen a horse and a chariot with two different animals? Have you ever seen it? When the person says, come on, let's go, and it starts going, there will be no cohesion. Think about families. Families will have vision. It's just like putting two animals on a yoke. You will never have progress. You might be making movement, but you will not achieve a lot. I hope that analogy helps us. Please, if you're learning anything or true, please tap on the screen and share it so that more people can learn from it, and we can. And you never know who you're helping out, right? A person leaves home, they work hard, they buy a house, they educate their children. By financial standards, they are successful. But years later, their children don't know their family history. Their grandchildren cannot communicate to relatives. Their homeland connection disappears. Something was gained. They have money, they have everything, but something was lost. Family vision asks the question, how do we succeed abroad without losing what matters? I hope that we're learning anything or two from everything I'm sharing, all right? All right, we move on. Marcus Garvey was quoted to have said, a people without the knowledge of their past, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Think about it. Roots and branches are both important. Roots represents identity. Branches represent growth. A wise family protects both. Two of them. Do not just focus on one. You'll get both. The next thing I want us to have a conversation on It's a family without vision understands that together is greater than alone. Together is greater than what? Alone. We live in a time and a world where people are more interested in I'm alone. If you are listening to me today and you have not spoken to a member of your family for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you're not doing well. If you are listening to me because of one issue or the other, you're not spoken to your father, your mother, or a loved one, or whatever it is, for years. Maybe some people have heard of 20 years, 30 years. You're not doing well. Don't be that loner. Don't be that loner. Look for ways to mend that relationship. I know it's not going to be easy, but try. Very, very important. No man was built to be an island. That's important. A family vision understands that 3 is stronger than 1. Bible talks about 2 being better than 1. Bible tells us about that 1 will chase 1,000, 2 will chase 10,000. So unity multiplies strength. So like I mentioned, I talked about the scriptures, Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9. It says 2 is better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. And I also mentioned about, thank you very much, Emmanuel. I also mentioned Deuteronomy 32 verse 30. 1 shall chase 1,000, 2 shall chase 10,000. That is multiplication, not addition. Multiplication. Guys, see, don't do things alone. I was just talking to a distinguished guest I had today, and I'm privileged to take him out on a dinner. I was talking about the importance of synergy. I was talking about it to him. That some communities in the diaspora, they synergize a lot and they achieve a lot. But some communities, they feel they can be loners. They can do it alone. That's why we dissipate our energy and don't achieve much. So think, you know yourselves. I'm talking to you, those that are talking to. You come and you feel you can do things alone and all that, and no, I want to change it a lot. Whereas there are people that have gone the path and the way you have gone before. Why are you trying to replicate? Are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Why don't you link up with those people that you know that are in the you arrived in a country, and yeah, let's say for instance you are from Ghana, and you don't want to associate with Ghanaians, or you don't want to associate with Indians. You're just basically wasting your time. Try to link up, try to meet people, try to synergize. That's why you come to different parts of the country and you see things like the world, and you see things like Chinatown. You're not stupid, guys. You're not stupid. Go and do your research on communities. Even, I think it was this, I read a book, I think it's called Outlier, you understand? And it talks about a community of Italians in a certain part of America. And when people migrated from Italy, they went straight to that community and they studied the life expectancy of that community, and they were able to determine that the reason why those guys had high life expectancy was because of their communal living. Because of the communal living. There's Chinatown in Nigeria. There's Chinatown in London, central London. I believe there's Chinatown in New York. There might be Chinatown everywhere. It's not stupidity. It's for a reason. You come to a country or you go to a place and you want to do it alone. You're just dissipating your energy. You're wasting a lot of time. The time you'd have used by linking up with people and leveraging on what the things they've built to move far. You're trying to reinvent the way, starting all over. It's just lack of wisdom. And I advise you today is to start networking, start looking for your people or like minds. So family businesses that last. Many long-lasting families, lasting business survive because they understand we inherited something, we must improve something. We must pass something. And I always make reference to this country, and I don't joke with them. In Japan, some family businesses have continued for hundreds of years. Go on Google, type countries with the most transgenerational business. Japan is number 1. I think they have over 500 countries, have 500 businesses. Sorry, they have the highest number of businesses that have stayed for more than 500 years. That is a lot. That's a challenge. That's continuity. That's a country with a concept of family vision. Very, very important. Something to learn from, right? Because each generation sees itself not only as owners, but as custodians. We need to get to that level. That fathers and mothers will see themselves as custodians of the children that God has given them privilege, so they can nurture them, so that family can continue the next generation. Not thinking that, oh, I don't like what you're doing to me. After 15 years, go your way, and I go my way. Some people have stayed in their marriages, Not because it's the best of the best of the best, but because of their children. Because they understand that if that marriage should break, that the chance of that child succeeding is minimal. And they just give their best and stay in so that child will succeed and relinquish whatever they feel just for the next generation. Think about it. The Japanese people, they don't ask only, what can I take? No, they ask, what must I protect? I hope we're learning a thing or two. If you are doing that, please tap the like on this, keep tapping it, and let's keep moving on. All right? What families, this next thing, why families plan events, but not generations. I will not get tired of telling you. Think about it. Families plan holidays, years of planning for weddings, years of planning for dream homes, but never spend, some of them don't spend any time planning for 20 years of their family, the values of the children that they want to have. Some of them don't even plan for financial direction or their family mission. Businesses have vision statements, strategy meetings, succession plans, but many families operate without one. So Benjamin Franklin was so clear to say, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. A family without future, a family future without a plan is future left to chance. So it's important that we ask ourselves all these questions. Guys, I'm not saying that my family is in El Dorado. No, I'm saying that these are things that my wife and I have worked on. We have plans for the next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years. That's how we have planned. Because I've come to understand in this country, in my university, that this country, United Kingdom, have planned for 50 years and ahead. What is your plan for your own family? What is that thing that you're doing? I learned that from uni. So we try to put that in place for my own family and for the generations yet unborn. I always say to my people that know or people that care to know, I say if your family is worth, for instance, $10 million or so, let's give an example. The next generation should be worth at least minimum 100 or 1,000, or if there's anything like $1,000 million. The next upper generation should be worth more, like double or 10 times. It's possible. It's doable. It can only happen if you have a family vision. I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage couples. It's not easy to train children in a time with volatile economies and what have you. Yes, it's not easy to, I know that some spouses are not doing their best or whatever. Yes, what I'm saying, for the sake of the future of generations yet unborn that can come through you, please do your best to ensure that that family gets to where God has designed for it. There's no child that is an accident. No child an accident. Any child that comes through you, be very, very sensitive about what that child can become. I always say this and I don't forget it. If you have not come in contact with the book called Breaking the Jewish Code, go and look for it. In Breaking the Jewish Code, I forgot the name of the author, but just type Breaking the Jewish Code. There's a chapter in that book. It says, impact before you depart. I don't forget that. In that book, the author did an analysis on a particular 2 sets of human beings. One was a devoted Christian, very passionate. He trained up his children in the dictates according to the Bible. I'm not here to do debate with you about Bible or religion. No. I'm saying to you, if you give attention to the Bible, just read it for yourself. It will transform your mind, the way you reason, the way you act, and it will prepare you for the next generation and generations yet on board. This guy prepared his family and trained them up. There was research that was done on the next generations after him. It was found that some senators came out from his lineage, some chief justice, some governors, some high-level people came out from his lineage. Think about it, guys. And there was another study done on another guy that was a criminal, a thief, that was doing 1 or 2 things that was illegal or wrong and not following up the way of the scriptures. These 2 people were Jewish, and it was said that I want to believe they're Jewish, I can't remember again. It was said that the second person I told you ended up having prostitutes, having gangbangers, having people that ended up in jail and what have you. Guys, whatever you do it so that do the best you can that so the next generation will receive the baton and move on. It can only happen with a husband and a wife that have vision for what they want their family to achieve. That will end up making the next generation collect the baton and continue from where you stopped. So I'll wrap up with these points so I can take some of your questions. Bear this in mind, your children will continue more from your example than your advice. What you practice becomes louder than what you preach. What you practice becomes louder than what you preach. Don't just advise them. Be an exemplary person. I remember my daughter telling my son, without due sense of humility, my son was asking me, Daddy, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Or whatever. My other daughter said to him, don't worry. Daddy will not fail. He does not lie. Because I intentionally, do I tell my children no? Yes, I do. But I intentionally ensure that every word that comes out of my mouth, I make sure I try to make those things happen. Not to say that if I say something and things don't work out and I can go back to them and say, hang on guys, this thing is not going to work out, but I'll make it up to you or we can work it out. But I will not just say something and not mean it. But children are watching you. If you're someone that is always saying something with no intention to bring it to pass or to make it happen, the children are watching you. That's why they'll just watch only your example and not take your advice. All right? So practice becomes louder than what you preach. Very important. A family name without vision eventually becomes only a word. A family name without vision eventually becomes only a word. The name survives, but the meaning disappears. What is that meaning that you want your family to have? What's that meaning? Do you just want them to exist? Or do you want them to, do you just want them to survive? Or do you want them to have something that is very meaningful so that it doesn't disappear? Think about it. These are things I want you guys to ponder on. The next thing I want you to ponder on, success is not complete until it is transferred. No matter how well you are. Remember we discussed on the Van David family. No matter how well you are, or no matter how impactful you are, true legacy is not what ends with you. It is what continues because of you. I believe that one person can make a difference. I don't forget that thing. In the words of Thabo Mbeki, in the book of Nelson Mandela, in blessed memory, The Long Walk to Freedom, Thabo Mbeki wrote the foreword. He said, and I remember, I don't know the exact way, but he said he always made reference to Nelson Mandela when people always said, what can one person do? He always made reference to how Nelson Mandela gave his life by staying in prison for the donkey years, about 20-something odd years, just because he wanted these people to be free from the harsh conditions that was placed on them by the apartheid government. So what am I trying to say is that one person can make a difference. Just you alone in your family can turn things around for the next generation, for yourself, for your children. And the Bible tells us that through one man, sin came upon the earth. Through one man, righteousness, which is Jesus Christ, came upon the whole world. You alone can transform your children, your spouse, the next generation, and a community, and a country. When we talk about Mary Slessor, Martin Luther King, this is all one person. It's not a group, one individual. You can do something about it. Success is not complete until it's transferred. That's what I talked about. The last thing is what? Every parent is building something else. Somebody starting line for someone tomorrow. So I hope that you have learned a thing or two. As I wrap this up, the greatest inheritance you can leave is not only what you put in your children's hand, no, but what you put in their hearts and in their minds. A family without vision does not just produce descendants, it produces what? Generations. And it will impact wherever the community. People always know that you are there. So thank you very much for taking your time to listen to all that was shared. If you like everything shared, thank you for the comments and everything. I can see them. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much, Adelchi, Carla Brice. Thank you very much, Alaji Dakola, Charlie, Margaret. Thank you very much, Ruti. I very much appreciate all of you for joining. All right. Okay. Without further ado, you want to make comments, I just have very few minutes. I'll try to put in to see if anyone wants to make a comment. Otherwise, I just take the questions I can see here. All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for always joining. Very much appreciated. Let me see if I can take some questions I can see. Please always bring your questions and drop them in the comment section. It goes a long way. People can learn from things you shared. If you can make a comment or come on to join, it will also be nice to put a comment or even a thought or question. Thank you very much, Fernand. Johnny, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you, Watson. Very much. Thank you very much, Bembe. Thank you very much, Claudia. Zara, thank you very much. Toddy Farm, Y5M from South Africa. Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. Zara, you asked a question saying, how to familiarize children with the family vision from an early age so that they do not become alienated as they grow. Yes, one of the things I do is that I write the family agenda on clearly and I paste it in my room so my children can see it. My wife even has made my son write one out and pasted it in the kitchen where he can see it. And what she did was she told him to write his responsibilities as the first son and put it up on the board so he can keep seeing it. The Bible tells us to write the vision down and make it plain on tablets. The Bible says that so that he that readeth it may run. A family or their generation will never run with a vision that they did not have written down. So keeping a family vision in your head is of no use. Just like Claudia asked, write it down. Write it down. Then also, one of the things my father did, I don't forget that thing. My father always took us to places where he wanted us to start thinking in that capacity. So, for instance, at a very young age, my dad was already taking us to 5-star hotels. We'll close from church like today, like this. He'll drive us to a 5-star hotel, take us into a 5-star hotel lobby, buy us ice cream, whatever needs to be bought there, eat in a 5-star hotel. He might not have had the money then. I don't think we're super wealthy at the time. But what this guy was doing then was planting the seed of greatness into us as young children. I don't forget, we still have pictures of 5-star hotels in Nigeria and Kaduna. If some of you know where this is, Doba Hotel, you understand? As young as I was, I still have those pictures in my head. So today, when I walk into 5-star hotels, or when I walk into a first class lounge, or I walk into a place that is great, I'm not intimidated because that seed has already been sown by my dad, long time, and my parents, long time, years, decades and decades ago. So what you don't write, your children will never manifest it. Right? I don't know how many of you that follow School of Hard Knocks on YouTube or Instagram. I think there was an episode that was this guy, Gaius Giannakopoulos, I think he's an NBA player. He asked Kobe for an advice, and Kobe told him that whatever you want to achieve in your NBA career, write it down. He wanted to achieve being an MVP. He said he wrote it down on everything, everywhere, and everywhere he had his locker and everywhere possible. And he did become that MVP. So write that thing down. You'll become it. If you don't write it down, it will never happen. Mark my word. Because I believe so strongly in the Bible, and I know that it's very powerful. And if you do those things, Bible has admonished you to do it, it will always work for you. All right? So next question. I don't know if that helps, Claudia. Thank you for that question. Mary P. Moore is asking this question. She says, thank you very much, Isa Usman and Margaret Talwatch. Thank you very much to Ayodola and Amanu Asa. Thank you very much for pronouncing them wrongly. Sorry about that. Is a family vision linked solely to economic progress, or should there also be an underlying moral and spiritual dimension? Why not? If your children are not spiritually grounded, they don't have the capacity, the spiritual stamina to carry such kind of family wealth. No, a family vision is not measured by economic progress. No, alone, no. Because children that don't have the spiritual capacity will not be able to weather different storms that they meet. Children that don't have the right moral will have money and become nuisance. Remember that I talked about the prodigal son in the Bible. His parents were super wealthy, from what we can see. Therefore, he's asking for his own. And the Bible says that he spoiled it with riotous living. I'm sure sleeping with different women, clubbing, and what have you during their time, drunk and what have you. But all that money went lost. So if the right values are not implanted, and if the right spiritual dimensions is not infused, Mary, that family vision cannot move from one generation to another. So I hope that that's been answer a question. Now, economic progress is not it alone. It's important that they are spiritually grounded, and it's important that they are instilled with values and morals. We'll touch more on it in the coming weeks. So what RoboCop? I don't know if I understand your question. Say what you mean about illegal in Germany movie? So I don't really understand your question. If you can repeat or send it again, it's better to understand it. Okay, Jasper Milo says, what role did your wife's support or sacrifice play in your busy professional life or in helping you reach your current position? Thank you for that very amazing question, Jasper. For instance, my wife now, I'm streaming, I have 3 children, my wife is taking care of them as we speak currently. Is that understanding of support? Is that understanding that we're to help each other? Is that understanding, according to the Bible, says that we are helpmates? Is that understanding? My wife, my wife is, I don't think I've ever done any business without my wife being involved. I can talk about my wife from now to maybe weeks, I can. Another role is that I built friendship in my wife. Some people have friends for business, have friends for praying, have friends for Bible study, have friends for to go for holidays with. No, I have everything in my wife. We built that together. All right. So my wife has been not just a wife, but an amazing companion. I'm not saying it because she's not here. It is the truth. And anybody that is close to my family knows. Wife is such a great contributor to our family vision, to the business ideas and everything. So yes, my wife has so many roles that she has played in contributing into my life and our family life, and it's made a lot of options. So thank you very much for that question, Jasper. I never saw it coming. So Lucas Matthew is asking, what are the key differences between a family with a vision and a family without one? Lucas, please, if you I've taken a lot of time to talk about that, and I don't want to dive into it because our time is very far much spent. Please kindly go through the video. Go on YouTube, type my name, Onyekoli Iloge, click on live, go back. You see today's topic is called Family Vision. Click on it, watch it, pause it, watch it, pause it, watch it, pause it. I said a lot about it. There's a clear difference between a family with a vision and a family without vision. One of the smallest, simplest thing I can tell is that a family without vision will keep dropping the baton from one generation to another. And whenever you drop the baton, it affects the race. That's simple. So a family that has vision will pass the baton right. I want to believe that those that are in athletes, I'm sure there's a training that they do only on how to pass the baton, how to pass it. Just not even running, how to pass it. Because you can be very good at running, and if you don't know how to pass the baton, you can lose the race. And I hope that helps, Lucas. But you can check more on the things I shared, all right? So Peter Akiena asks, what is your wife's perspective on managing household expenses or achieving financial goals? Do the two of you create budgets or plan for the future together? Yes, we do. Like I touched on, yes, we do. We have goals for 5 years from now. We have goals for 10. We have goals for 15. We have goals for our children. We have goals for our family finances. We have goals for things that we want to do. We have goals of how to stop exchanging time for money and to live in life on our own terms. Yes, my wife's perspective is the same as I am. And when it comes to managing the household, she's great at doing that, but it's something that we do collectively, put our heads together, mortgage, investments, and all that stuff. It's a whole lot. It's something that I can talk about on an entire stuff. Thank you very much, your VA247 for the likes. All right. Okay. Misty, thank you very much. Misty Herman Kulas, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Yusuf 2267 says, well done. So, says what else? This very deep and needed to be carefully examined. Yes, thank you very much. You can also watch it live and share it to more people, Emmanuel, so more people can be blessed by it. Okay, Haruto Minato says, I live abroad while my family is back home. How can I maintain this sense of unity or shared vision with my family from a distance? Very solid question, Haruto. Very solid question. I, irrespective of geographic location, Haruto, I believe that you can have two captains on a ship. It always cause a problem. I also want to believe that if you don't have family vision, or you don't have an understanding of what I'm saying, it's important that you read books that can shape your mind towards it. You know, and one of the books to read, I highly recommend, is this book. It's called Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. You know, it's a very important book. Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. This is will give you a sense of understanding of why you are here. It is when you understand why you are here that you can guide your family. Another book I can recommend for you is a book called Point Man by Steve Farrar. This is a book that can make you have an understanding of your role as a man. You understand me? Your role as a man and the importance of knowing that as a point man, you are instrumental to how what your family becomes. Very, very powerful. All right. So I can go on and on books, but there are relevant books that you read that can shape the way you do. So irrespective of geographic location, you will still be charting the course of your family and moving them on. I believe you communicate with your spouse wherever they are. I believe so. I believe that you talk to them. You cannot give what you don't have. You have to first invest in yourself as a leader of the family. I want to believe that you're male, Haruto. If I'm wrong, be you male, be you woman, whatever it is, invest in yourself. Then you can have something to give. If you don't invest in yourself, you'll be having a clash. It'll be a case of what I talked about: a donkey and a horse being used as to work on a farm. You're not going to get much results. So yes, one of the ways you can do that is by first adding value to yourself. Then you can now begin to see that as you are, and see, one thing you can do, what I did when I met my wife early, is that every book I bought a copy for my wife. So for instance now, whether you are male or female talking to me, Haruto, I don't know what your gender is. I highly recommend that whatever book you buy, send it to your spouse. Buy a copy, send to your spouse. Instead of talking over the phone and just chatting away, what I did then with my wife to be there was I will open a chapter of, we'll read at least like minimum 5 pages a day, and that will form the basis of a conversation for that whole day. You get it? So imagine that you are reading a book like Purpose Driven Life, and you are taking it one chapter a day or so, and that's what is forming the basis of a conversation. Imagine that your understanding will be increasing. One of the reasons why people who struggle and families will having issues is lack of knowledge. And lack of knowledge will improve your understanding. And his understanding will make you a wise person, and you begin to act wisely and not act ignorantly or stupid or foolish. I hope that we're learning a thing or two, and that will not be a case of anyone here. Matthew D. Roders says, I spend the entire day scrambling to earn a living and chasing after money. Amidst such mental stress, where would I find the time or mindset to think about the vision? First and foremost, Matthew, thank you for your question, very much apt, is that what is driving you to even wake up in the morning? Without a vision, it's just like playing a football match without a goalpost. Without a vision, it's just like traveling, just driving without knowing where you're going to. You're not able to calculate how many miles from point A to point B and to know whether how many miles have you covered and how many is left. So my point is that all the hard work you're working is amazing. You need to create time to stop, think, and have a plan. And like I mentioned, books are a good way to help to shape your mind and create a vision for yourself and for your family. So I hope that's very, very helpful. But thank you for your question. And thank you for your applause, Matthew. Very much appreciated. Thank you, Adel Chi Calabres. Thank you very much. Thank you, your VA247. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Yusuf. Very important session. So let's do this again. Yes, I do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. Sometimes I might be running behind, but please be patient to me. You always meet me. Yes. Mr. Herman Kula says, okay, thank you very much, Mr. Herman. Yes, I know Doba Hotel. Yes, Doba Hotel, unfortunately, doesn't exist anymore. It's opposite Muritala Square in Kaduna. Those that know Doba Hotel, it was a classy heritage of northern Nigeria. I don't know what happened with Hamdala Hotel, sorry to say, then was nowhere near Doba Hotel. You understand? And Hamdala Hotel is a shadow of itself now compared to what it was. So I thank you very much for all the questions and everything you guys brought through. Thank you very much, Denise, DG, Alius, your VA2, and many of you that are joining on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I very much appreciate you. So I'm just going to bring this to a close. And hopefully you guys have learned a thing or two. Please put your comment section. Yeah. Your thoughts in the comment section, very much appreciated. All right. Okay. Today's topic, remember, we're talking about family vision. Family vision. All right. That's what we're talking about. So this means saying to you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone joining across the world. A big thank you. Thank you to my PA, Venus. Thank you to my social media manager, Dami. To all my friends. I really appreciate you. To my wife, amazing wife and children, very much appreciated. To my mentors, I really appreciate you guys. To all my colleagues at work, in church, or people I do business with, a big thank you. All right? Let us know what your biggest takeaways are. Put them in the comments. Even if you are watching this later on, please still put your takeaways. People are going to be transformed, just like the way Emmanuel and others have shared the comments. Please put your own, especially those that are watching on YouTube or watch this later on LinkedIn or on Instagram or wherever it is videos are stored. Please put your thoughts away. People watch this video more after the live stream than when it's streaming live. Okay. All right. Next Sunday we'll be talking about, I don't know what it is, but still something about family. I think family values, or I can't remember. But be on the lookout. You get to know what it is, but something linked. All right. So please, whatever it is, take action on the things to talk about. Remember that you can send me a DM. We can have a 10 minutes free call about whatever it is. Could be your business, could be your personal life, personal guidance, whatever it is. Send me a DM. You can get my free book or my paid ebook. Send us a DM, and you can have that. If you don't have, can't find it on my what's it called, on my bio. All right. Okay. Your life, take your life in your own hands, control your time, and don't die average. I won't keep saying that. I never stop saying, don't die average. A lot of people die average. Please, don't die average. Very, very important. All right. Okay. We are sponsored by The Things You Love. It's spelled D for Delta, The Things You Love. D for Delta, T for Tango, I for India, N for November, S for Sugar, U for Umbrella, L for Lima, U for Umbrella again, then V for Victor. The Things You Love, V for Victor. The Things You Love. Check them out. You can never go wrong. Thank you, KD. Does the Bible study still run? Yes, it runs. That's if you mean the one that happens in things in Winners Chapel, Dartford. Yes, it still runs. Mostly every Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for teenagers only. Okay. Thank you very much. So yes, this live stream is brought to you again by D610 Homes. We do property investment in United Kingdom, service accommodation in United Kingdom, property development in Nigeria, short lets in Nigeria, and we have a host of other businesses we do. If you're thinking of how to invest or what to do, please send us a DM and we can work something out for you. All right? Love Family Podcast is another sponsor of this live stream. Please check out the podcast. There's different podcasts there to help you and your family. Since we're talking about family, there's only family podcasts we have there. All right? If you want to collaborate with us, you want us to do a sponsorship or anything, send us a DM and we can work out a package that will help be a win-win for both of us. As we bring this to a close, remember, families need direction, not just connection. Blood connects people, vision moves people. Every generation should become the next generation's foundation. Migration needs vision. Changing location should not mean losing identity, purpose, and continuity. So the next and the last thing is what? Unity creates generational power. One person can build success. A united family can build legacy. So please, remember that I do this because it's to shake you and shake me so that we are not satisfied or with average or being okay. It's so that the things that can be You can awaken the potentials in you so you can become better. I want to believe that for the last 1 hour, a lot has gone into your mind and your reasoning. I want to believe that we're going to be seeing results. Please feel free to share them. Feel free to post them. Remember what I say that the Bible said, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7. I've seen servants on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. Ensure that you are at the right place at the right time, analyzing your life and analyzing your days so that you are not just existing, but you are living a good life. All right? Remember that the wise always invest. Invest in whatever will make you, your family, be cohesive, be working with a vision so that you can make a good life for yourself and for the generation on board. This is me telling you, peace, Udo, and I'm out. See you next Sunday. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Bye-bye.